as much as it was Joshua. This time, AJ has a strong, talented, and focused Alexander Usyk in front of him. Anthony Joshua can't just be good to win this fight. He's going to have to be great.
Round one. The heavyweight championship of the world on the line. Alexander Usyk. The southpaw in the colors of Ukraine. Anthony Joshua in the all-black trunks, just like his boxing idol, Mike Tyson.
In the first fight, Usyk came out very aggressive, was able to back Joshua up right away using that lateral head movement and straight left hands right down the middle.
Well, Usyk said earlier this week, he acknowledged, listen, we've had almost a year to study one another again. It might look a little bit different.
There are also advantages, if you're Usyk, to being able to fight an opponent like Joshua after tasting his power for the first time. It reminds me a little bit of how Canelo Alvarez fought Gennady Golovkin the second time. He was a little more cautious the first time around. 12 rounds of experience with Golovkin enabled him to be more assertive in their second fight.
Well, I will say in the opening minute here, guys, Joshua looks a little less reactive to all the movement and the feints of Usyk. He's not mirroring Usyk quite as much as he was in the first contest, at least in the opening minute.
You know, conversely, though, Corey, this fight is once again being fought in the center of the ring, at least in the first minute and a half of the first round. That is an area that Alexander Usyk wants this fight to be.
The jab gets through there from Usyk.
The major difference I see already is that Anthony Joshua is bending his legs. He's changing levels much better than he was in the first fight, where he stood very tall and was in range for straight left hands.
Bit of a quiet start here through the opening half of the opening round.
You know, one area Joshua was successful in the middle rounds of the first fight was body shots. That's the best way to slow down the movement of Usyk.
That's the second body shot that he's thrown this round. Just as you said that, Chris.
Yeah, that right hand to the body landed from Joshua. A couple of jabs have got through from Usyk. There's perhaps the first left hand to break through the guard of Joshua.
Joshua being very smart, very economical with his punches, fighting long, throwing right hands to the body and upstairs, but also keeping that up and down movement.
Jab lands from Usyk a moment ago. There's that up jab of Usyk. He can throw it from angles, Chris Algieri, that other fighters just can't.
Absolutely. One, it's for him being a southpaw, having that right hand, that lead jab in front, but also the fact that he's such a loose-shouldered fighter. That front hand is so free-flowing.
Final 10 seconds of an interesting opening round. Joshua trying to make adjustments, but Usyk maybe getting the last word with that left hand.
Give me the water, give me the water. Gobble. Deep breath. Breathe. Deep breath.
We need more presence in the center of the ring, okay? We need to use that jab a bit more, okay? Also, the double jab, yeah? And switch on, Chuck. Switch on. Give me that rhythm. You got the rhythm, okay? You got that rhythm.
Better rhythm, yeah?
Very tactical opening round for these two heavyweights. We see that up jab. I said that Usyk has a very free-flowing lead hand. He's very creative with that shot, often leading you to think that that hand's coming and then drops that left hand down the middle. We didn't see a lot of left hands in that round, but the right hand was busy.
So you learned something there in the corner. Angel Fernandez is operating as the chief second. He is the man in the ring. Robert Garcia, you could see him in the picture there, but he is outside the ring operating as a trainer.
Round two underway. Of course, Angel Fernandez, the holdover, if you will, from the old Joshua camp.
And that corner is something that bears watching, too, because while Robert Garcia and Angel Fernandez have talked about them being in lockstep throughout this training camp, they have very different training backgrounds, and I'll be curious to see if they're in sync when it comes to the advice.
Speaking of in sync, you heard the word rhythm in the corner. Anthony Joshua is showing fantastic rhythm so far. He's got his level changes. He's moving side to side. He landed a very good straight right hand to the body to open this round.
And what I haven't seen from Usyk yet is kind of unleashing that straight left hand that had success against Joshua in the first fight.
Joshua's been elusive. I wouldn't normally think of him as an elusive fighter, but he's brought a new level to his game tonight.
Joshua jabs back down to the body. Usyk trying to get his jab working. That lead hand is always working for Usyk, but Joshua able to come over the top of it and now digs a left hook to the body right along the belt line and a right hand down the middle from Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, that body shot set up that overhand right.
Two punches that were really lacking in the first fight from Anthony Joshua were the left jab, which he didn't land many of. He landed one earlier, and that left hook to the body. Putting those in combination is a great idea for Anthony Joshua.
Joshua just missed with that left hook a moment ago. Perhaps you could speak to this. The posture of Joshua seems a little bit different in this fight. You mentioned the knee bend, but just overall, he seems to be approaching Usyk much differently.
Absolutely. He's being more aggressive. He's being more heavy on that front foot. He's being the bigger man, but also staying low is helping him stay out of range of those shots. There's that up jab again.
Joshua wise to come right back with a jab of his own.
Joshua's putting a lot of physical pressure on Usyk this fight. Very different than the first fight, where Usyk was really the man who's putting on the pressure, both mental and physical.
Yeah, and he's shown good commitment through these first two rounds of making sure he's making contact with the body of Usyk, making him think that those body shots are coming.
You know, one constant in the career of Alexander Usyk is that no one has yet been able to lead the dance with him. There have at least been portions of these rounds so far where Joshua is the one making Usyk do something that he isn't deciding to do.
Yeah, Usyk is having to work very hard right now to stay in this fight. Oh, beautiful right hand
down
over
the
the
middle
top.
there from Joshua. Final 10 seconds of an excellent round for Joshua, who sinks another right hand to the body of the champion Alexander Usyk.
Another great round, champ.
Much better round. Calm.
Breathe.
Calm.
Breathe.
That's it. Calm yourself.
Breathe.
Much better round.
Стой, перейди, он становится широко, хочет ударить, понимаешь? Стой, перейди, мешать без ударов двигайте с ударом. Понял? Вытянул, с ударом туда, передний. Ты два передних попадаешь, он садится. Понял? Вот идет, тройка идет, голова, живот.
Solid round for Anthony Joshua. You see him there landing the right hand over the top. There's another one right down the middle. Those are the kind of shots that rung Usyk's bell in the first fight. And now Joshua being much more aggressive, finding them early on.
Yeah, I like the ring generalship from Joshua through these first two rounds. Robert Garcia mentioned this during fight week. He doesn't want Joshua out there fighting like a Marcos Maidana, a fighter that was one of Robert's charges for many years, fought Floyd Mayweather. He fought recklessly at times. They want Joshua applying pressure, but doing it in a smart way, and he's doing that so far in this fight.
When I was in camp with Robert Garcia, I sparred Marcos Maidana quite a bit, and reckless is a good way to describe his method of attack.
Well, I think you pointed this out as well, Chris Algieri, which is that, you know, when people heard Robert Garcia in the corner of Anthony Joshua, people immediately thought, okay, he's trying to build a heavyweight Brandon Rios. But Robert Garcia's tactics as a trainer are a little more diverse than that, as Joshua lands a good right hand.
I love what Joshua's doing. He's responding to every combination that Usyk throws with a body shot. Very smart to make sure that he's answering the punches coming at him, just like Usyk did in the first fight. But yes, to your point, Corey, you know, Robert Garcia was a phenomenal boxer puncher as a champion himself. And just because he was known from training Bam Bam Rios, he's got a different kind of athlete.
Joshua, as he has for all three of the rounds thus far, waiting till the last moment to step off his stool. Interesting in the corner of Joshua as well. One of the party lines from Joshua's new camp and Robert Garcia has been positivity all the time in trying to instill in Anthony Joshua that the Joshua of old can be tapped into, that he hasn't lost a step, and trying to instill in him that he can take some of those old tactics and bring them to Alexander Usyk tonight. Very upbeat corner for Anthony Joshua, at least to this point.
A little more assertiveness from Usyk over these last couple of rounds. You can see him start to settle into this fight.
Like you said, Chris, he's got that analytical mind, and you see him collecting the data, starting to get that right hand going a little bit more, starting to land that left hand, finding his angles like that.
A little more bounce in the step of Usyk as well, who comes right through the middle with a left hand.
I love the way how Usyk will throw away his lead hand to land his left and punches to where AJ's going to be, not where he is. Nice up jab from AJ there. He's actually learning tricks from Usyk as he goes.
Joshua looking for that uppercut to the body. He's had some success throwing that right hand downstairs. Throws that one to the gloves of Usyk a moment ago, but Joshua just generally looking more threatening than he did in the early stages of the previous fight.
Aside from his posture and moving forward, I think that has a lot to do with his balance. He's definitely seems much surer on his feet, and I think getting lower using those legs has been a big benefit for AJ and his power punching.
Good left hand there from Usyk. Now tries to wrap one around the guard of Joshua.
You know, I would say this. I mean, Joshua's had success in the early part of this fight, but the real estate this fight is taking place in, it's almost identical to where it took place in the first fight, right near the middle of the ring.
And in the middle of the ring, they traded some shots, and Usyk landed a good right hook.
Usyk actually put together a nice series of punches, a straight left hand to the pit of the stomach and a right hook up top. Anthony Joshua answered with a right hook himself.
Both men go to the body. Usyk tries to come over the top of the left hand.
That's the second big adjustment I've seen in this fight, is the fact that Joshua is answering every combination that Usyk throws. He did not do that in the first fight.
Hard left hand down the middle from Usyk once again. This is high-level heavyweight boxing.
Here we see, as I mentioned, Usyk uses that right hand as a throwaway to mask that left hand that he throws down the middle, through the guard, and around the corner. He's a master at utilizing that right hand to land his rear left hand. There's that beautiful head movement and an answer again. Slips to the outside, jabs over the top, gets away without taking a receipt. Very, very smart, beautiful movement, which looks a lot like what Usyk was able to do in the first fight.
And as we begin round 5 of a back-and-forth fight, Chris Mannix, your scorecard certainly reflects that.
Yeah, I've got it 2 rounds to 2, even up through 4 rounds of this fight. The key right now for me, first 2 rounds, Usyk kept that left hand pretty much cocked, not throwing it with any type of repetitiveness. Last 2 rounds, started to let it go a little bit. And look, Joshua is trying to make it more physical, but this is still a boxing match. And all we heard all week long, even from members of Joshua's team, is that he can't win a boxing match. I'm curious to see if at some point he tries to make this a more physical fight.
He offers a big sweeping right hand there, caught on the left glove of Alexander Usyk. And part of the issue of dealing with Usyk, Chris Algieri, is how draining, both physically and mentally, it is, seeing the constant motion, the constant adjustments, of Alexander Usyk, both with his hands and his feet.
It's also the fact that you're dealing with almost a different fighter every round. He builds as he goes. Like right now, we're seeing that movement to the right side, getting outside, staying invisible to Anthony Joshua while throwing punches down the line. I mean, the mental pressure is probably harder than the physical pressure from the smaller man.
And this is something Usyk did really well in the first fight. You're starting to see shades of it right now, but there's a body shot. Did that one stray low?
Yeah, that was below the belt line.
Yes, it did.
Even when he's not trying to be, Usyk can be funny.
I'd love to see the replay and see how low that actually was.
It looked like he caught him maybe on the thigh of that left leg.
Those hurt, and those can linger with you, especially from a big man like AJ.
Right, it might not be a legal shot, but it's not like it didn't do some damage. But prior to that low blow, I was mentioning, Chris, one thing Usyk did really well in that first fight was force Joshua to punch too far across his body and getting him off balance for counters.
Absolutely. So that's what I meant by staying invisible. He stays outside that lead leg beautifully. He fights like a southpaw should. He moves to his right. He stays outside the lead foot. He's very difficult to hit with anything flush. His ability to keep that head off the center line makes him a very difficult target. Like that. Beautiful counter over the top with the jab. And that's the thing with Usyk. It doesn't have to be a power shot because he hits you with shots you're not ready for and that you don't see.
Your chance for both fighters here in Saudi Arabia. Both men fan favorites.
This is where Usyk is a very dangerous man. Once he finds his rhythm, he starts feeling conky and confident in himself. Oh, beautiful straight left hand.
Good shot there. And there were stories about the ferocity of Usyk in this camp from some of his sparring partners. One of his partners said, he called me while he was on the plane, coming home from the press conference, and said, we're sparring when I get off this plane. And he said he looked scary in that session. And Usyk starting to build with intensity at the end of this round.
I saw something late in that round that gave me shades of the first fight. Anthony Joshua started pawing the left hand instead of snapping it. And one of the reasons is because of shots like that. Usyk has been doing a great job of slipping inside the jab and jabbing with Anthony Joshua, having him run into his shot, making his jab almost like a power shot.
Yeah, there was that punch, too. Caught him right below that left hip.
Oh, yeah, those shots on the hip bone there, those hurt a lot, and they linger with you. They can make your whole leg numb.
You know, there are obviously some subtle differences, Chris, but to your point, this feels a lot like round 13, 14, 15 of that first fight. We're seeing it fought in a very similar style to what we saw the first fight.
Yeah, and I think the more the fight goes on, it's going to look even more and more like the first fight.
Round 6 underway. Alexander Usyk, the unified heavyweight champion. Anthony Joshua trying to become a 3-time heavyweight champion.
Usyk coming out using great side-to-side head movement, good feints, firing from his movement.
It was good anticipation there by Joshua. Saw Usyk about to duck down, hit him with a good left.
I love that left hook to the body. That was a punch that was severely lacking in the first fight and something I figured he would be working on with Robert Garcia.
There's Usyk with a little body work as well. Left hand downstairs, a right hook right along the elbow of Anthony Joshua.
Now you can hear the corner of Joshua calling for that double jab. They want him to operate behind that. And right now, he's only sort of flicking it out there, not throwing with any kind of purpose.
Yeah, he's using it as a pawing, that good at defending and taking the brunt off a lot of these shots.
Round 7 begins, and that's what makes Alexander Usyk so special. He isn't just a good boxer or a good defender for a heavyweight. he is a good boxer and defender at any weight. If you were to shrink Usyk down to any other weight class, he's still a spectacular boxer.
Well, that's the thought experiment of the pound for pound, is it not? And,
right.
And all of the pound for pound greats have always had great defense.
The rough stuff on the inside here. And on that pound for pound list currently, Ring Magazine has Usyk number 2. Usyk trying to become the first man to win both the ring cruiserweight title and the ring heavyweight title with a victory tonight.
He's Sports Illustrated's number 3 pound for pound, Corey.
Joshua loads up with a big sweeping right hand there. Misses Usyk as he slides off. Robert Garcia was calling for pressure in the Anthony Joshua corner.
Well, and there seemed to be the belief, there was the expressed belief in that corner that the pressure would eventually break Usyk down. That they're seemingly happy with what Joshua is doing so long as he keeps going to the body and so long as he stays in front of Usyk.
That's an interesting thought to me. I'm not reading that at all. I don't see that. First of all, I don't see a ton of pressure being applied to Usyk. I also don't see him breaking anytime soon.
Yeah, if you're expecting Alexander Usyk to break down, a guy that's been in several championship-level distance fights, that might be wishful thinking.
And against guys with a much higher output than Anthony Joshua.
Well, one positive for Joshua, guys, according to CompuBox right now, Joshua has landed 16 body shots. He only landed 15 total in the first fight. So there is something, perhaps, to what Garcia is seeing.
Oh, there's absolutely been a tactical adjustment from the Anthony Joshua side. Body shots being a major part of that.
Speaking of body shots, there was a good one from Usyk a moment ago. And there's a sharp left hand just coming right from the shoulder. It snaps the head back of Joshua, and another one, and another.
That was a sneaky left hand from Usyk there on the inside. It seems like AJ seems to be falling into some of those old habits and needs to make an adjustment himself.
Usyk just batting away the lead hand of Joshua. Goes back down to the body where he has had success in this fight. But he's falling into the dance of Alexander Usyk once again as we come to the end of round 7.
Nice head movement there from Anthony Joshua.
Okay. 8 rounds done. This is the round, around 8, yeah?
Some nice popping work from Usyk. That was a beautiful, again, he goes back to slipping inside the jab, comes with the left hand over the top, beautifully executed counter punch there. A dangerous one as well, to slip inside the jab that way and then to throw your punch that tight to thread the needle and land on an orthodox fighter. Very impressive.
Let's take a look at Chris Mannix's scorecard here, Chris.
Yeah, I've got it 68-65 in favor of Alexander Usyk. Corey, you phrased it that Joshua is sort of falling into this Usyk dance, and I think that's an appropriate way to describe it. Usyk is now kind of taking control of the pace of this fight, and he's having a lot of success. His tactics, Chris Algieri, are just, they're basic boxing at its best. Just simple slips, left, right. He's not doing anything special. He's just doing it at an extremely high level. So once again, we have the issue in the center of the ring where there's some condensation. I saw Joshua during that last round slip a little bit and look down. Now we have that problem once again.
Yeah, for those of us just joining us, we had this issue in the fight prior where we had two heavyweights that were slipping consistently, especially as the rounds wore on.
Yeah, Zheli Zhang actually fell down after slipping in the ring.
Now Joshua himself will get toweled off as well as we await the true start to round 8. Here we go. You know, back to the slips of Alexander Usyk as well. You know, oftentimes we think of head movement as just a defensive mechanism in boxing. For Usyk, it's a predecessor to his offense as well. It is making you consider just where that left hand in particular is coming from.
Well, yeah, it's a setup, and it's also, it blinds his movement. he's not an in-and-out boxer where he's changing his critical distance line. He's a side-to-side fighter. He moves laterally, so it allows him to always be in range to counter. He takes those little slips, and he's right there to hit you with the counter shot, which we've seen consistently tonight. There it is again. Beautiful slip, inside, outside.
Oh, good body shot from Joshua.
There it is again.
Goes back downstairs with the left hook.
Certainly not a direct comparison, but I was thinking of the George Foreman-Michael Moore fight. George Foreman being the bigger guy, the power puncher, fighting the southpaw. He used sweeping left hands to walk Moore into a right hand. I feel like that would be a great tactic for Joshua.
In the latter half of the 8th round here, Joshua's put together a couple of good sequences with body shots in this round and just misses with that right hand. I think Usyk just pivoted at the right time out of the way of that one.
If you're Joshua, you have to stay committed to that body. He had 2 really good body shots early in the round.
The problem with fighting Usyk is you can never build on anything. Beautiful right uppercut to the body. Oh, and
Goes
again.
back downstairs, and a 3-punch combination to the body as Usyk wraps him up in the center of the ring.
So it would look like a little wince of pain from Usyk as he tied up. Those are some brutal body shots.
Probably the best combination of the fight for Anthony Joshua.
The most damaging for sure.
Can Joshua continue to find routes to the body or use them to create a route for a big right hand? Combination from Usyk, but a slapping right hand there from Joshua as well.
The elusiveness and the combination punching is proving difficult once again for Anthony. Ooh.
Uppercut on the inside from Usyk, but body shots from Joshua. The best action of the fight at the end of round 8. And a smile from Joshua as he goes back to his corner.
Here we see a great left hook to the liver by Anthony Joshua, which was a pretty consistent weapon that last round, and one that he should really focus on, especially on both sides. And here we see it from the other side, the right hook and then back to the left and the right. One of the best combinations by Joshua in either of the fights, where he's been able to land more than one punch at a time.
Yeah, if you're Joshua, you have to think the body of Usyk, think of it as a more hittable target.
Yep.
The head has not been there. The head boom for Usyk has been excellent as it was in the first fight. You keep digging to that body, you'll slow him down.
A gargantuan main event here in Saudi Arabia, and another gargantuan fight coming up on September 17th. It is the trilogy, Canelo and Triple G 3, live from Las Vegas, Nevada, live on DAZN pay-per-view. Round 9 now underway. Alexander Usyk and Anthony Joshua. Joshua perhaps finding the true key for him in this fight in round 8. Those hard body shots.
Usyk just so clever, comes back with body shots of his own. He's able to slide off. Like I was alluding to last round, Usyk is so hard to build an offense against because he changes up so often. Changes his rhythm, changes his angles, changes which punches are working.
Shot to the body from Joshua, counter right hook up top from Usyk.
Oh, good
Another
body shot
uppercut
again.
to the body from Joshua. Little lapse in concentration, a rarity from Usyk as he gets met with a jab as they come out of the break. A little less movement from Usyk in this round.
I was just going to say that. The head movement specifically, a little bit more of a stationary target in this round.
Joshua's having a good round right now.
Well, is Usyk perhaps feeling the effect of these body shots now?
They have shown to slow Usyk down in the past.
Pair of sweeping hooks there from Joshua connect. Joshua again to the body. Now making it rough on the inside.
I love the use of the left hand by Joshua. Throwing those left hooks high and low. Now making it rough.
Very rough, and he'll be warned for a hammer fist there, I think, on the inside, but not for long. As Joshua now in pursuit. Usyk. He is on the run right now. 45 seconds remaining in round 9, and Joshua finally has been able to pick the safe of Alexander Usyk.
Oh, nice left hook over the top. Joshua's picking his punches very smart.
A sustained body attack from Anthony Joshua as he's finding true confidence in his offense for the first time in some 21 rounds with Alexander Usyk.
This has been the most dominant round that Joshua has shown in both fights. Oh, good body shot on the inside.
Asserting physical dominance is Anthony Joshua. That was the idea coming into this fight, and it is coming to fruition.
That last round saw the adjustment that we needed to see in order for Anthony Joshua to have a chance to win this fight. He came out, he was physical, he was a bully in there. He let both of his hands go. Beautiful work on the inside. And it all started on the strength of the body work. He started early, he stayed to it, gave himself the opportunity in the distance to let his hands go, and he never let up. And as many punches as he threw that round, he didn't seem to blow his gas tank either. He seemed to be still pretty fresh at the end of the round. Let's see what Usyk can do in the next round.
And we see Chris Mannix's scorecard. Now Alexander Usyk just 1 point ahead.
Yeah, things starting to tighten now. By far the best round of the fight in that last round for Anthony Joshua. It's a good word to choose, Chris. Bully. That was the first time we've seen Joshua in 2 fights with Alexander Usyk assert his physical dominance. And here comes Alexander Usyk, right back out throwing punches.
Look at that frenetic movement, just in and out. He's picking up the speed and the output.
Trying to erase the memory of an excellent round for Anthony Joshua. And some good shots land from Alexander Usyk.
That check hook from Usyk was very sneaky.
Oh, big left hand connects from Usyk. Usyk firing back.
Joshua's in a little bit of trouble here.
A big reply here from Usyk after a dominant round from Anthony Joshua. Now it's Usyk who's firing away.
Usyk has the tendency, whenever you have a good round against him, he comes out and he makes you pay for it.
And Joshua's dipping right into that right hand of Usyk every time.
Joshua still stalking forward. Now Usyk digs to the body. A left hand downstairs, but Joshua meets him with a right hand.
That shot rocked him.
That one rocked Usyk. Usyk having a look over at his corner.
He was looking at the referee.
Yeah,
He thought
said
that was
low
below the
Was
belt.
that okay?
Yeah.
Regardless if it was low or not, he was rocked upstairs. You know, and I've said it many times in the build-up to this fight, Anthony Joshua is dangerous at all times. He has the power, he has the sharp punching.
And that includes when Usyk gets on a roll and is really flowing offensively. One straight right hand, and Joshua is back in the round. But look at Usyk once again, uppercut and a right hand.
Yeah. Usyk is not your typical, or any typical, one-punch knockout puncher. How he hurts you and how he gets knockouts are an accumulation of punches, which we're seeing right here.
Usyk is not your typical fighter overall. He is not your typical person. So much on the line, so much on the shoulders of Alexander Usyk.
You see Joshua a little bit too straight-legged right now as he stands back against the ropes.
That's not a good sign. When you put yourself on the ropes, it's generally because your legs are tired or they're shot.
And you saw that, Chris, in the 12th round of their last fight, where Joshua needed to come out with some urgency, and it was Usyk going for the knockout at the very end.
Yeah, I thought in the first fight it was more exhaustion than the fact that Joshua was hurt at the end.
Another
that he was taking all that damage.
From Usyk. Punches raining in from the Ukrainian champion.
Oh, good
down
body
to
work.
the body and now upstairs. Usyk putting on an offensive show in that final minute.
As dominant as the 9th round was for Anthony Joshua, it was equally as dominant for Alexander Usyk.
That whole round could be a replay at this point. There's a big shot over the top from Alexander Usyk. He came out guns a-blazing right from the start of the round. Joshua had a great round the round before. Usyk came out to make him pay for that. And pay for that he did. Oop, there's a big shot back from Anthony Joshua. Great punches from both men. Probably the most sustained action that we've seen thus far in the series. Both men having their moments.
Yeah, Usyk putting together one of my favorite combinations there. The uppercut that pops the head up and the straight right over the top.
Evander Holyfield sitting ringside.
And Evander Holyfield, given his history, probably thinks this is a sparring session.
As round 11 begins, it was a massive round 10 for Alexander Usyk. And guys, we talked about Usyk's ability to make adjustments. Well, how about the adjustment he made in that last round? Not just to stop Joshua from what he did in the 9th, but come back and return the favor. You hurt me in the 9th, I'm going to hurt you bad in the 10th.
Yeah, and one step above, which is, you know, the kind of competitor that Usyk is. Usyk is still looking very fluid, very explosive here in the 11th.
Oh, cracking right hook there from Usyk. You could hear that one.
And once again, it doesn't have to be hard, especially if your opponent doesn't see it.
Body work in reply from Joshua, but Usyk again, back to that pace, giving Joshua something to worry about, something to occupy him, either mentally or physically, at every second of this fight.
Notice the legs now of Joshua standing very tall. He's not as low as he was earlier in the fight. Good body shot there.
Good body shot lands from Joshua. Usyk wise to tie up there and thwart the momentum. You definitely don't want Joshua flurrying to the body. He can still be dangerous.
Usyk's been very good at that this fight. When Joshua does get him pinned against the ropes, he ties Joshua up. Anthony's got to find a way to create a little bit of separation in situations like that.
Yeah, when he keeps Usyk in that middle distance like he did in round number 9, he was able to rattle off combinations and do a lot of damage.
About 10 seconds ago, Usyk slipped a body shot, rolled out of the way of a body shot, came back with the left hand.
Joshua actually initiated that tie-up there. Oh, there's that up jab again.
Go, and there's the up jab from Usyk again. Just batting the lead hand out of the way from Joshua and coming up through the middle.
It's a really impressive surge the last 2 rounds for Alexander Usyk.
Especially coming off that 9th round. Ooh. Those punches just missing.
This was a fight that could have gotten away from Alexander Usyk. He looked like he was starting to weather from the body shots in round 9.
Oh, good body shot again. Looked like a little shot on the break there from Anthony Joshua.
A deep breath from Usyk as well.
Oh.
But a fantastic round from the champion once again. And a little playful left uppercut there from the champion as the bell sounds.